Howdy heretics, this is a great day to be alive. I'm up here feeding my goats and it's soon be full moon. And that's interesting because goats give birth when it's full moon. So maybe I get some extra kids. And the reason why goats give birth at full moon, it's an evolutionary adaptation because lions can see in the dark and goats cannot see in the dark. So if you learn how to give birth when it's full moon, that means that the mother can see the lion before the lion sees the kid. So it's a safety feature. And if I do get a goat now, my patrons will be allowed to name it, I promise. But I don't think I'll get anyone. But I'll get a shitload of goats in January or February because of the London protest. As soon as I leave the farm, they misbehave. They behave like animals. So I'll probably get a shitload of goats in January. So stay tuned, like and subscribe. But I notice everyone is talking about freemasonry now. Cedars and Jon Leger and everyone. And I'm in the category of no more fucks to give. I honestly don't care about these things. But I have 2 stories to tell. Because we had a Bible study, you know, the kind of Bible study that goes to the meeting and making progress. And when he started, he was a funny character. And when he started going to the meetings, his questions were always, are Jehovah's Witnesses connected to Freemasonry? And we answered, what's Freemasonry? And he explained it to us and we said, no. That goes against everything we believe. And every time we were studying with him, it was like him, 90% of the time he was talking about Freemasonry. So explaining, you know, the big conspiracy. And he considered himself to be a scholar or author. He was writing books about Freemasonry. And he told us he showed these books, the manuscript, to someone. And he told us the next week the police came and knocked in the door and took his hard drive away, and he was charged with some kind of hate speech or something like that. I don't remember all the details. So he ran away to Norway to hide from, I think it was the German authorities, living off grid. And he tried to seek political asylum in in one Muslim country, but then he was interrogated by the CIA, so he was afraid of going anyway. I think he told me that Freemasonry is illegal in many Muslim countries, so that's why he felt it would be a safe choice to move there. But then the CIA was interrogating him and he thought it was a bad idea anyway, because according to him, the Freemasons run CIA. So this was a very, very special guy. And like I said, I really don't care, but he was a funny character, and he he was the kind of guy that would pick up cleaning detergent, and within 3 seconds he would spot a Masonic symbol. So I just wonder, what if he would keep on, the Bible study, and he would make progress, and he would be baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Organization. And after baptism, we would show him studies in the scriptures. What would happen? Maybe he would be pissed, and in that case, rightly so, or he wouldn't care, because, like I said, he claimed to be an expert on Freemasonry, and he said that Jehovah's Witnesses wasn't connected. On the other hand, he got that from us. And we didn't even know what Freemasonry was. So I wonder what would happen if I send him a picture of the convention hall in Denmark, you know, the one that's shaped like a triangle with the old seeing eye. And that's the second story I would like to tell, because let's say for argument that this conspiracy is real. The Earth is run by Freemasons, and only 10% of the population is smart enough to accept the fact of this conspiracy fact theory. Well, the 10% of the smartest people don't work on Bethel. So they could be sitting looking at this blueprint every day of the year without noticing. And I know that for a fact because I know these people. I was actually invited to work on that convention hall. I remember having conversations with Bethel in Denmark about me working there. It never amounted to anything, but if I would have been there, I was working, I would look at the blueprint, I would never made a connection just because I didn't know anything about it. And in Scandinavia, it's kind of a normal thing to have a triangular shaped plot of land. I used to have one, about 100,000 square meters. And if I would sell that to development, they would put, normally you put some hedge around it so you get the outline visible from Google, aerial footage. And if you would put auditorium, you will put it in the narrow corner, and you would put the parking lot other side, and you would get that by coincidence. But on that blueprint, you wouldn't see it, because in the blueprint, you would just see a triangular shaped lot of land, parking lots, and this half moon. Because the bushes and the eyebrows and the outline, all the bushes things, that would not show on a blueprint. So, I don't know. But like, I really liked XJW Analyzer. He had this pro and con, and I'm in between there in the no more fuck to give between pro and con. But the biggest con, as I see it, is the fact, and I never heard anyone speak about this, the convention hall in Denmark is not owned by the Watchtower Society. So if that shape is meant to identify the owner as a member of the conspiracy, Watchtower is not the owner. Watchtower conventions are money-making, it's a money-making scheme. And Denmark is a rich country. And the Danish witnesses absolutely loved this convention hall. It's a lovely place, you can be outside listening to convention. It's like, it's the mating ground. It's a really nice place. They were really proud of it, and it was a money-making scheme. And there's very low maintenance cost on the outdoor auditorium, and still they sold it. So, if this convention, if it does identify the owner as a part of the Freemasons, it would in that case identify the Danish government, not the Jehovah's Witnesses, because this is owned by the local municipality in Silkeborg, not the witnesses. So, please don't be mad at me, I really don't care. Maybe all this conspiracy is right. If it is, maybe I'll join it. Okay, see you in paradise. So I was just walking downhill here and I came to think about one thing that I forgot to mention. If you're a nerd apostate like John Cedars, Paul Grundy, XJW Analyzer, or anyone else, and you want to do some research, you can actually get a hand of the original blueprints from the convention hall in Denmark. I will give you a link in the description to the municipality in Silkeborg. And we have very strong transparency laws in Scandinavia, so most likely you can just ask them for a copy of the blueprint and they will give it to you, no questions asked. Or maybe you have to explain why you want them. But I'm 99% sure that you'll get them. So, link in the description.